Alright, so now that we've got our project set up, the first thing we're going to do is install Bootstrap. So we're going to do npm install Bootstrap 4 Alpha 6. And once that's loaded, we're going to add some script tags or scripts to our Angular CLI.json. So we're going to come to here, and on line 25, you can see we have got an array of scripts. And I've just got these off the website, basically, and we need these. We need jQuery, we need tether.js, and we need Bootstrap. So save this. So now we've got our JavaScript stuff. We need to add our styles now. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to come into our style CSS, and we've already got a comment here. It says you can apply global styles here. And again, I got this off Bootstrap's website, and now we can add our Bootstrap and our Font Awesome CSS. So hit save on that. So we actually haven't installed Font Awesome, so we'll do that later. We'll just do our Bootstrap to start with. And now you can see we've got App Works, and we're using Bootstrap now. Come in here, Text Center. So now we've got Bootstrap set up. It's going to be time to actually create our first component. So if we come here, I would say the first component we're going to need to do or start doing is we need like a container component that we're actually going to stick all the other components in. So we're going to use the CLI, and we're going to say ng generate. So you could either say, we'll start with this, but then later in tutorials you'll use g component, and we're going to say we're going to have a stock app component. And we probably could have this as our Bootstrap component, but if you look here, the CLI actually gave us this folder, and we've got HTML with just stock app works. We've got our SCSS file. We've got a stubbed out Angular test, which we will not be going into this tutorial. And then we have the component class that it generates. And if you look at line 3, this is actually called a decorator, and it's basically going to give us metadata about our component. And this selector, we have it at app at the moment. I'll show you how to change that so it just says stock app in the actual CLI folder, but CLI project. But basically we've got our selector, which is going to be like the HTML tag we're creating. We've got our template URL, which is going to be the HTML for that component, and we've got our SCSS. So to use this, we've got our selector here, stock app. We're going to come to our app component. We're going to remove all this, but then we just created our own tag here, so we're going to say stock app. If we hit refresh, come back, it says stock app works. And basically, so in there, we're going to say div, we're going to do container, div class row, and then we're going to say, let's look at this closer on what we're building. So Bootstrap, we've got a Bootstrap panel, and I'm still, the best way to work with Bootstrap is to have their website open, and then we're going to actually use panels. So let's take a look at this. I guess they're called cards now. I don't know. I think they're panels. So it looks like they're not panels. Screw it. I don't necessarily do a card. Panel. So there are no panels anymore. Let's see. What would look good? Okay, we'll just use the grid for now. Still getting used to Bootstrap 4. So we're going to have probably a column, a third of the screen, and then a fourth over there. So we're going to say call 4, and this is going to be where we're going to have our search bar. So we're going to say div class form group. Then inside of there, we're going to say label for, this is going to be for this input box, so we're going to say stock symbol. Then we're going to have input type text. For now, we're going to leave this blank. And then we're going to have, let's just make sure that's working. So we got our stock symbol, and actually class on that is form control. See, we're actually going to say container fluid. Then we need a row. Forgot the row. Row, not rop. Stick this guy in here. And then we're going to do, so we don't want mid. This is actually, we're going to have our little cards. So we're going to say stock content here. So basically we've got this. Now we're going to need some buttons. So underneath this, we're going to say button, type, whatever, button, class, button, primary. We're going to have a lookup button. I think this works. Yep, button danger. Clear. Let's just see how that looks for now. Lookup and clear. So we've got that, lookup and clear. We're just going to have, let's just do lookup and clear for now. This is a way. There we go. That guy there. Lookup and clear. So if you can see here, we've got this is going to be the user controls, and like I said earlier, that's actually going to be its own component. So if you can look here, we've got some HTML that makes up this little piece right here. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to create a component that says stock input component. So we're going to ng generate component stock input. So now we've got a new folder here. It says stock input. Again, we have the same thing. Every time you create a component, you got the HTML file, the CSS file, or CSS. You got your test and your TypeScript. Again, I forgot to remove that prefix. I don't want that to be app. Let's actually go in the Angular CLI JSON and change that. So here we can see the prefix is app, and so if you're creating like a production app, you actually want to prefix this with like your company or some letters to signify it that it's part of your library. We're actually just going to remove it because this is just a small example app. So stock app works. So what we're actually going to do is we want all of this inside of that component. So we're going to cut it out and we're going to put it inside of the component. It's got that. And our selector here is stock input. So what we're going to do is instead of having that in here, let's see here. So now you can see once you save this, now it's removed. We're basically going to use it like an HTML tag. Now we have a stock input. And it came back. So inside here, we're actually going to leave this here for now. And I'm trying to think how best that we're going to do this. So, okay, so basically, let's work on the stock input for a bit. So we're at about 10 minutes. So in the next video, we're going to flesh out this stock input component. We're going to have it where it actually we're not going to send the request, but we're going to get everything ready. So in the following video after that, we're going to have a service and actually create the AJAX request. So stay tuned for the next one.